You walk into a grocery store planning to grab just a few things: milk, bread, maybe eggs, in and out. 40 minutes later, you're standing at the checkout with items you don't remember picking up. Snacks, a new sauce, something that was on offer, and you think, how did this happen? It wasn't an accident. Grocery stores aren't organized for convenience. They're organized for behavior. In fact, studies show that over 60% of grocery purchases are unplanned. Not because people lack discipline, but because the environment is designed to encourage impulse decisions. Let's start with something simple. Why are staples like milk, bread, and eggs almost always placed at the back of the store? Because research consistently shows that the longer shoppers stay inside a store, the more they spend. On average, every extra minute inside a grocery store increases basket size. So you're not walking to the milk, you're being routed past opportunities. Now look at the shelves. Notice what's at eye level. It's rarely the cheapest option. That's because eye-level shelf space is the most valuable real estate in the store. According to retail studies, products placed at eye level can sell up to 35% more than the same product placed higher or lower. Cheaper options still exist. They're just harder to notice. Now look lower, right at child eye level. That's where you'll find sugary cereals, colorful snacks, cartoon packaging. This isn't subtle. Research shows that children influence more than 70% of household food purchases. Kids don't control the money, they control attention, and attention creates pressure. Those displays at the end of aisles, they're called end caps, and they're powerful. Products placed on end caps can see sales increases of up to 40% even when the price hasn't changed. Many of them aren't discounted at all. They just feel important because they interrupt your routine. Visibility creates urgency, not savings. Ever notice how produce is usually the first section? Bright colors, fresh smells, open layouts. That's intentional. Psychologists call this the freshness or priming effect. Studies show that when shoppers start with produce, they're more likely to feel virtuous, perceive the store as healthier, and then reward themselves later, usually with snacks or desserts. Now the checkout. You're tired. You've made hundreds of small decisions. This is called decision fatigue. Research shows that decision-making quality drops sharply after repeated choices. So what's placed here? Candy, gum, magazines, small, low-cost items, items that rely on low resistance, not logic. These impulse purchases alone account for billions of dollars in annual grocery sales. None of this is random. Major grocery chains spend millions every year studying walking patterns, eye movement, pause zones, and basket behavior. They don't just sell food, they design shopping experiences that guide decisions. Now let's talk about what actually helps. Not willpower, not guilt, just structure. First, shop with a list. Studies show shoppers using a list spend significantly less and buy fewer impulse items. Lists reduce wandering. Wandering increases spending. Second, start with the perimeter. That's where most whole foods live. The deeper you go into center aisles, the more processed and impulse-driven items appear. Third, scan shelves deliberately. Look up, look down. The cheapest option is rarely at eye level. 3 extra seconds can save real money. Fourth, treat end caps like ads, because that's exactly what they are. Visibility doesn't equal value. Fifth, don't shop hungry or rushed. Multiple studies show that hunger alone can increase impulse purchases by double-digit percentages. If grocery shopping feels exhausting, it's not because you're bad with money. It's because you're navigating a carefully engineered environment. Once you understand that, you stop blaming yourself and start shopping intentionally. So here's the real question. If grocery stores are designed to guide your behavior, what would change if you stopped letting the aisles decide for you?